A Dalek is mean, they're nasty, they scream, they shoot. So I shoot people. I feel so much better at the end of the day. I can go back and when I have that customer I really don't want to do it, I just imagine being a dreadnought. They're standing in front of me and I know what my answer is. So, I almost said exterminate to one of them. Every show we go to, we walk away with stories. And the FanExpo is, I think, the pit of a lot of them. It has created quite a few stories. But one time I was invited down to Rochester with Dalek, Oregon at the time was with me in the trailer. So once again, I transport these. I transport these inside the trailer, and it's a large trailer. I own my own business. I'm an aircraft builder, so my trailer is 25 feet, and it's covered in graphics of airplanes. So we were on our way down to Rochester. We were running late. Had a problem with the Arduino board, and we had to reprogram it to control his head. So we really got out late Thursday night, and we had to be setting up Friday morning. I get down to the Fort Erie border. Okay. I get down. Sorry, it's making noise. I get down the Fort Erie border, and it's fairly empty. There's 3 booths open. And I drive the truck into the one booth at the farthest right because I know this officer is going to say, here's the piece of paper, go over there. Okay, so I get into here, and I've got the other 2 beside me inside the truck, and the Dalek in the back. Now, it was Dalek Dreadnought in the back and Dalek Org right in front of him. Now, Dalek Org is the exact same as Souffle. And when that Dalek is here, you can really only see the arms of this one and the head. So we pull up to the border, and the customs officer said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to Rochester. It's late, it's after midnight. Going to Rochester. We've been invited to go to a costume party. You know, just a costume. Most of these people are too straight-faced, they don't understand. Like, some do. Like he didn't. So, he's looking, he said, all 3 are Canadian, we went through all that. And then finally, he said, what's in the trailer? I really should think some days. I just turned over and said, I costume. He looks, he says, your costume. 25-foot trailer, covered in airplanes, my costume. I'm waiting for that piece of paper. He said, I want to see inside. Didn't expect that. Okay, that's fine. The other 2 stayed inside the truck, and they gave me a very dirty walk. I get nuts for the costume comment later. So I go back with this border guy, and I drop the ramp in the back of the trailer. It goes down, and he looks up, and there's this gold Dalek, and then the green arms and the head. And I see him. What are they? I said, Daleks from the 1963 Doctor Who television show, and I gave a bit of the story. They're cool! And then, I'm standing at the back. Now, I don't know if any of you, I've gone across the border lots of times, and I've had very different things with the airplanes inside this trailer. The one thing is, you never are allowed to go inside the vehicle with the officer. They go in, and you have to stand outside, if this ever happens. But, anyways, I'm standing there, and he said, I want to go see them. Make sure there's not a person inside them. Sure, sounds good. But what he does is, before we start walking up the ramp, he just looks around at his 2 buddies, and he says, just does this. So there's 3 lanes that are open. I've got the only green check mark going. The other 2 are red now. And then we walk in. It took them longer to get to us than I thought. So we're walking in, and we're looking at the Dalek and this and that. And he's going, it's all cool, it's all cool. And he's looking, I pulled off the top of our rig, he's looking inside. So now he's looking in through here, and he looks down, he's going, what's this? Can I get this in? Can quickly? So he goes, what's this? And it was attached to the gun. I said, it's his gun. That's how we shoot and scare people. That's cool! He says, I want to see the other one. That's right. So by now, oh, that's not as bitter. Yeah, it tastes good. Oh, what's that? So the other guards are coming up, and he said, come on, I walk. As they walk up the ramp, they're walking in. He walks around this side of Dreadnought. I go around that side. And we're both on our knees, and I lift up the hatch. And the other two come up, and they're looking at it. I already put the head back on already. So they're looking at it, and they're standing to the side. You would think U.S. Border Patrol. Remember, these guys have handguns on them. They understand weaponry. You would think that two of them would not stand directly in front of guns. About this far away. I'm on my knees in the back, the other guard's back there, and he says, does this one fire too? Yes. I said, it's this CO2 tank right here. I have my big one in. And you saw how Dreadnought shot here. Outside, at night, in moisture, the cloud's about 10 times bigger. So, I'm there, and he says, can we shoot? I'm not gonna do it. Just squeeze the handle. So he reaches in, puts his hand in the handle, looks out. Cloud! Trailer's gone, can't see anything. I heard two blood-curly girls scream. I could feel the trailer bouncing. When the cloud lifted, they're both outside, pissed. I looked at him and says, you're going to deal with that, not me. He shot you! And then he started laughing, and they had their little chuckle. It was kind of cool, and he just killed himself. And he says, you're good to go. As I said, the other two guys have now disappeared. They didn't say a word to me. I'm sure they talked to him afterwards. As I'm walking out the back of the trailer, he pulls it up. From where they are to the bridge is now full of traffic. And although I didn't see it, they all saw them run out. And I'm not sure what's in my car's thought, but because all they saw was this white cloud and two border guys running out. So, I enjoyed that. Closed up the door, their lights went on, and off they went. And that's what we get. Right? We've got just as good as stories at these shows, too. We're out. Quite fun. Another story from here. And it was actually for this panel. Last year, Dreadnought's huge. He doesn't fit in an elevator. So he has to take a freight elevator. And I was in a bit of anticipation because we ran out of time for this forum. So I was trying to get to this forum really quick last year. And I sent the other down to him. And the only freight elevator I knew of, I went to that. And I opened it up, and it took me down. Now we're up on the third floor, that's where our booth is. This elevator didn't stop at the second floor. It went from the third to the first. Well, the first floor, it empties into the catacombs of this building. It's where the restaurant is, the food service, and everything else. I'm late. I know my other Daleks are here, and they're entertaining people, but I really don't like being late. So I come, and I had a new slave with me who was dressed as a doctor, and he was a little bit, he wasn't too quick. So I come, as soon as that door opened, I burst out of the freight elevator, took a turn, I'm in a corridor. This looks like the corridor of every murder movie you've ever saw. There is cutlery, rolling bins, everything else, and it's tight. And I can drive him fairly well, and I've got the headlights at the bottom there. So I turn the headlights on, I'm driving, I'm whipping down, I'm just missing stuff. But then I had to make this 90-degree turn. Remember, I still don't realize what floor I'm on. I had to make this 90-degree turn. Just as this poor lady was pushing a cart coming out of the kitchen full of water. She screamed, and it was loud, and the cart went, and some glasses went tinkle, tinkle, tinkle. And I just said, I was in a hurry. So all I'm screaming at her is, move! You will be exterminated! Move! Some people don't know what a Dalek is. Anyways, I didn't hit her car then. Unfortunately, I kept on going up the hallway. And by this time, the scream, the noise, everything else, the whole kitchen, hit the hallway. And she's pointing at me going down the road, and then I realized when I got to the door at the end, I'm on the first floor. I can't make it to the second floor. Alright, so I figured I'm late. There's nothing I can do now. I gotta get right now back to the booth, and then I'll just run down and, hold the form. Well, I turned around, and by now the doctor's finally caught up to me, and I left him again, and off I go. And I get to the same corner where the whole kitchen staff is out there now. And when I'm in a hurry, and they're all playing out their phones trying to take pictures. And I'm screaming, oh! Move or you will be exterminated! Okay, so they were moving. Let's take pictures. Yes, I shot them. Evidently, they don't know what a Dalek is either. Because they are into the location through the double doors. Never to be seen again. Made it back to the freight elevator and made it off. We do carry water inside these as a rule. Although Brenda's big enough, he's got a mini bar. So we're at the end. We can go. Who wants another story?
Yeah.
Any of you? Oh, you want to tell her or you want me to do that?
We went to Niagara Falls Comic Con last year, and we thought it would be cool to take our Daleks down to the falls and get some pictures taken. So I took my camera with me, and we put them all in the back of Mark's trailer.
Except for
Except for Dalek Simon, because he's cardboard and doesn't handle the mist very well.
I'm scared of water.
He doesn't melt, he just sort of sogs away.
But evidently the smoke coming out wasn't a problem.
So we actually got down there. We got some pretty good pictures. If you've been up to the booth, you may have seen the sort of postcards with the Daleks looking out over the gorge and the falls. And it was really pretty cool. And the thing is, you've got a whole bunch of visitors to this country. And they're all sort of looking rather strangely. What's that? For those who can actually speak English. And if you say it's a dog, they still look at you kind of blankly, and you say, it's from Doctor Who. Maybe a little tweak. A TV show. Ah, okay. So we go all the way down past the falls, and we turned around. We were coming back, basically finished.
He was loud.
Yeah, he was loud. What we were doing, we were all outside of our dogs, and just because I'm foot-powered, there's no way I could have survived. Just getting here over the carpet is really a chore, which is why I was sweating buckets. But so we were pushing them along. I was in the lead, and we were getting up to the area where we parked where the buses usually park to let people off. And we were just sort of getting back to that area when I looked off to the right, and I saw this police SUV just screech to a halt. And going,
It was going fast.
uh-oh. And I keep pushing towards where the trailer is. This cop gets out quickly, slams the door, starts coming over really quickly, and I'm going,
He's running.
yeah, and he was coming right for us. What did we do?
How many laws did we break?
We're not supposed to bring these things down here. And he comes up and says, are you with these your Daleks or something?
No, you missed the one famous part. So Ian's pushing this, and the officer has already come out of his car and is running up, and all we hear is, I love
I actually forgot about that.
Dr. Made me laugh.
I was more worried about heading off to jail. But he actually came up and he said, would you mind if I got a picture with these guys? This is cop with his gun and everything. He said, sure. I'm not going to argue with him. So he comes up, and his favorite was Orik because it was the Dalek that he learned to love Doctor Who with. And so he goes beside Orik, and he's looking at it and says, brings out his hand, goes, do you mind if I put these on him? No, not at all. So we got pictures of him arresting Dalek, Orik, Dalek Clifton. When it came to Dalek Dreadnought, it was, where would we put these on? It's just too big. So the picture we got with Dalek Dreadnought is he's just, what do I do with this? So, did you actually put them on?
No, we brought out the book.
Oh yeah, he was booking it. He was citing him for citation him. What's a citation for extermination without a license or something like that? But that was a lot of fun. And after that, we loaded him up and we were done.
Just one more quick one, and then we wrap up here. Okay, guys? Yeah, okay. So, at these shows, you come to see the celebrities, and they're here for you. I mean, they're here to meet you, greet you, and they do this every weekend almost. So they do it a fair amount, and they enjoy it, or they wouldn't be here. But occasionally, they like to go and seek for a little thrill. Well, we constantly at the shows run into the same actors time and time again. Some of them are a little timid, take a little while. Like we met up with Denise Crosby. We rolled up, and I had the Dalek Harper with me. And I rolled up, she was staring at me and Dalek Harper. And she's talking with Dalek Harper. And they're talking about how much he loved her in Star Trek and all that. And I looked up at her and I says, Star Trek, you have a thing for androids. Denise Crosby, first thing in my mind. She broke down. She was laughing so hard she was in tears. She turned absolutely red. She came running over after she was done her sign, came running over, grabbed a great big hug, took pictures, everything else. She says, it was incredible. I loved it. Another fellow that just recently we've had a lot of fun with is Giancarlo Esposito. Anyone know what that means? Gus Breaking Bad. So I've been entertaining with him for a few times, and typically when I go up, we'll have a chat, and I will exterminate something for him, usually his handler, and he orders the extermination, away we go. Last show we were at, I rolled Red Dot up, and I pulled him behind the curtain, and I came up, Giancarlo, come here. Get him. Great, in he goes. So I now have an actor inside right now. Oh, let's go. He says, what are we gonna do? I said, well, you go wherever you want. I've only got one thing for you to do. He says, okay, that's fine. So we go drive around, I'm walking beside him, and Dreadnought does get used for certain people to get thermal drives. I forgot that I put in my big tank again, so I had my big CO2 tank in there. It's huge. A lot of pressure. So anyways, we get up and he said, and we're going around, we've gone around through the whole show. He said, okay, can I stay in there a little longer? I said, yes, but you need to now do me a favor. Okay. I said, we're going to go visit the doctor. Sylvester McCoy was at the same show.
Oh.
Giancarlo is a good friend of Sylvester McCoy. They spend time together, and they're good friends. And Sylvester also knows me. So we roll up at Dreadnought. I'm attached to the arm of Dreadnought, and he's not really sure who's inside. But they start talking back and forth, and he holds up his cane towards Dreadnought a whole bit, and Giancarlo just screams, exterminate. I forgot to tell him. Now, once again, Sylvester just came out from his booth. And if you look at where the actors sit, there's a whole row of actors usually in a row.
Yeah.
With all their pictures. And the big backdrop behind them with their name up on it. Anybody know Dean Cain? I forgot to tell Giancarlo that when you hit the fire extinguisher, you just use your elbow and just push down and let it go. No. The doctor is standing right in front of Dreadnought, and luckily the guy's smart enough to stand right in his right ear so that it gets shot to either side. But Giancarlo just went, reached, grabbed, and held it. And then moved. The doctor's hat goes flying, the doctor's doing this, and he's doing a great hand job. It's wonderful. Dean Cain, not so much. We cleaned up every picture off Sylvester McCoy's desk and every picture off of Dean Cain's desk. He's looked and all, I saw him in front of and all I saw was his mouth.